Hey guys, my name's Dan, and I'm here to share with you my first dojo clear. This video is one of the first I'm going to be putting on my YouTube channel, but I am expecting to put up plenty more in the next weeks, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's get started here. The first couple rounds, I take out my Magnificent Magnus Familiar because it's good at one hitting the mobs as soon as they spawn, and they have low HP, so it works out well. We kind of power through the first 20-25 rounds here. My apologies for the watermark over the time, but who pays for video editing software these days? Anyways, so I'm new to the whole Twitch game, but I have started streaming on the regular. My regular schedule is anywhere after 7 to 8 p.m. PST, and I go from there. Basically, I do bossing carries, farming videos, all that kind of stuff. I do that both on Twitch, and then that's coming as well on YouTube. I will be showing you how to farm 300 mil plus rates an hour at MP3 on Akana. I'll be showing you guides on how to do CRA, Hard Magnus, Chaos Vellum, all that good stuff to come, as well as just generally hanging out in Twitch. If you like something to put on in the background while you're playing, I know I do that a lot with Twitch. Come check me out. I'm hopefully entertaining for you. But yeah, I'm only about a week into streaming now, and I'm really enjoying meeting everyone in the Maple Story community. Anyways, so we're getting up to about round 26 here. Bosses are taking a couple hits to kill, but I think the interesting stuff will come in a couple minutes here. My basic strategy is to use spread throw as soon as it's up in the later phases, and that way by the time I get to the more difficult mobs, spread throw will be up, and I can give myself as much time to let it cool down before the bosses that I really need for it. Coming up to some of the last couple mid-range bosses before the tough ones really start. Golem's a bit annoying because he reverse controls, and that kind of messes you up if you're trying to go for that portal. You do have the 10-second cooldown after you kill him, which is nice, but yeah, it can really mess you up in terms of time sometimes if you're not paying attention. Coming up to Arcarium here, my biggest regret in this run is that I didn't bind Arcarium. You can see he weapon cancels, and I'm losing valuable seconds here. If you watch this video right to the end, you'll see I just barely clear, and I could definitely use those extra seconds. Anyways, he throws up a damage reflect at the same time. It's a little bit annoying. Add some more time I can't attack him, but as soon as he puts that back up, I finish him off pretty quick. Moving on to Mano now. We're getting to the multiple boss stages, or multiple phases of the same boss. In some ways I like this because it gives me a couple seconds in between each phase to kind of throw on Angelic Buster Link or something like that. Whatever you need, really. Kind of going through Griffey here. Griffey's alright. These couple bosses, they really don't bug me. You know, pretty straightforward. Just get in as much damage as you can, as quick as you can. Pretty standard. The Yeti works very well with spread throw. I don't use it in this run, but if you are to use spread throw on Yeti, some of the Assassin's Mark stars will fly out and hit the other one, so you're attacking both at the same time. It's pretty efficient. No stars are wasted, nothing like that. Pap was actually behaving quite well. You can see in the first phase there he didn't cool down at all. I think he tried to at the end, but yeah, he didn't cool down at all. The second one does cool down, I think, once, and you know, that's pretty good for Papula. Usually, depending on how fast you kill it, but me personally, he usually cools down at least 2 times. Really kind of makes the boss a time waster. So I pop spread throw for Annie. As soon as it gets up, And he's another pretty easy boss in terms of mechanics. You just sit there and tank it. Round 36, we get the Leviathan. They're really spacing themselves apart here, so I can't really go for both of them at the same time with this spread throw, but you know, power through one, flash jump over. You can see he reverse controls. That's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Dojo, another pretty straightforward boss. Just wail on it as fast as you can. It's important to note that I am using potion pot, so I can revive, or I can heal myself whenever I need to. It doesn't have to be on the basic floor 30, floor 40, you know, all that good stuff. You don't need to wait for that with potion pot. You can just heal yourself whenever you need. It's kind of broken, but it's a nice little trick. And we're almost through with Dojo here. The Temple of Time bosses are pretty straightforward, except for Lily Nooch, or whatever, however you pronounce that name. The one thing I don't like about Lily Nooch is it raises himself above the ground, so you kind of have to space yourself away from the boss for the stars to follow him while he moves up. That, and he's just a pretty tanky boss in general. I do remember, well, the real boss damage reflects, so I'm glad this one doesn't, for that reason. You can see I'm dropping Frailty Curse on all the upper level bosses. Just as a Night Lord, it's a nice little damage boost. It basically just weakens the boss, increases attack against that boss. You can see above his head the debuff on him. And we're coming up to Leica. This is a good example of the spread throw effect, where the Assassin's Mark stars will attack all three bosses at the same time. So you're getting the maximum effect of that spread throw. It's a very tall boss as well, so all stars are being hit. It's nice. He doesn't hit too hard, 2k. It's nothing to worry about, really. So we finished Leica with about 11 minutes on the clock, 4 minutes left. We're getting there. We got 2 more floors to clear here. We get to Magnus now. I don't like that we don't have spread throw up for Magnus. He's a bit of a annoying boss, but luckily I do have bind up. Again, Magnus's skills don't hit anywhere near as hard as they do in the actual boss, but that being said, I do have to watch my HP bar while I'm doing this. Every time I stop to hit potion pot, it's just time wasted. That's damage that I'm not getting in. But, and if any of you were wondering, I don't put potion pot on my pet because it DCs me. It's a glitch I've been having for quite a while. I think I've heard of a couple other people having it too, where if you assign it, especially in Crimson Queen, that would be nice to have it, but I assign it to pet and it crashes me, so I try not to do that. Alright, so spread those up. I've already used my bind. We're powering through them. It's almost done. I have my boost node for spread throw maxed, so I will end up having a couple seconds of it for the final boss. Now, this is the one boss where you really have to watch your HP. You can see a couple times I cut it very close. He hits like 10 to 11k with those falling stacks, but I mean, I don't know. I have a decent amount of HP, about 34k, so I do have a little bit of leeway in that sense, but you really do have to watch what you're doing. Now the timer is ticking down. We've got about a minute left here. A minute left and he's almost dead. At this point, I knew I was going to clear. You can see there I was almost dead, but you know, you just got to keep attacking. I was pretty confident at that point I would clear, so I just kind of took my time, made sure I stayed alive, and there we go, we got the clear. Finishing time was, I believe, 14 minutes and 15 or 14 seconds. And that's my first clear. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, and if you want to check me out on Twitch, I'll plug that link in below. Thanks. See ya.